sorry, I forgot to put on the right headphones. Wow. So, today we're working on a few things. I genuinely wanna finish, like, exploring Leeway, like, at least the main area that was, like, already out before, Chinyu Vale. Um, this is mainly trying to get Primo Gems. We're also gonna do a few quests today, since I should probably do that, because we are farming for Flynn's. Since Milani didn't come home, so we are at, like, literally 0 penny right now. So, I need to find a way to get, like, 80 pulls. uh, also, yeah, sorry I haven't been streaming for a few days. The plan was to stream, like, every single day. I just couldn't, because I got busy. Which I always hate that. It's like, yeah. Like, I wish I could stream every single day for my dog. You know? I'll do eventually. I just finished up with, like, Jeopardy and hanging out on a stream for a little bit. Well, not really Jeopardy, it's called something to the Bean Game or something like that. Coffee, Mr. Coffee, hosts the game, so, yeah. Hello, Alex. But yeah, just finished up with that. And it was totally unfair for the other team. I will say that. It was totally unfair to have the gotcha thing on, and then also apparently the cozy games. I couldn't sleep last night. Oof. Damn, that sucks. Nope, nothing. I am missing about 95%. I think it's probably mainly over here. Because I haven't really... Didn't mean to go right here, I meant to go to. Have you heard the what Silk Song did? Like, I know what Silk Song just came out. I don't know exactly what they did. I know they made it $20, though. But they probably hit, like, good goals, I'm guessing. Is that it? We are not doing this today. Nope. But haven't really been paying attention to Silk Song since I have not finished, the other game. Hello, Savage! They crashed Steam, Nintendo Store, Sony, and Xbox. I missed you. I missed you too. Oh my god. Oh, right, they did crash. I know they crashed Steam, but I didn't know they crashed other games. Holy cow. Yeah. I know, I haven't been streaming that recently, so now I'm back streaming. Don't worry. I just have to be a lot quieter now. So I'm choosing my streams wisely. And during times where I am not going to be that loud, I guess. Right now I'm tired because I just finished like I did a, not really a stream, I wasn't streaming, but Coffee did a stream, Mr. Coffee. And I was a contestant, so yeah. They came in with like 550k players day one. Yeah, I bet. Because first off, that was like anticipated. Like I know people absolutely love the character that they've, I'm guessing it's Silk Song. I'm guessing that's the character. And like people have been like waiting it for years and whatnot. And it being $20, like easily, yeah, that would happen. I'm not surprised it did happen. Remind you, the first game only hits 760k. Yeah. Well, I guess like a lot of people do like the previous game. Either they've played it or not, and like, yeah. Good for them for having so many players playing that it crashed all the game sites, I guess. With $40, you can buy both Hollow Knight and Silksong. Yeah. Well, mainly in American. When it comes to Canadians, I think it's around over $20, so you need like maybe $50. Oh, so sorry, ad happening in like 30 seconds. I don't know why it's happening this soon, but I guess it just wants to. Sorry. If it does happen to you guys. If it does, I don't know. It's 50 for Hollow Knight and 25 for Silksong. Oh, my bad. I thought they were both like 25. Never mind. Okay, yeah, you just need $40 then. In Canadian. I'm guessing it's probably like quite a bit less in American. Because we love money. Money changes. Woohoo. Jeez, I'm getting nothing over here. Oh, so yeah, I know. 2 days before 6 point. I will definitely be streaming that about entering it. So we actually need to finish the main quests. We need to actually continue on the main quest. So we should probably do that now. I haven't done the Mondstadt new quest, and I haven't done the new Dan's Lift quest. So no spoilers. No spoilers. And let's... You know what, fuck it. Let's bring Skirk's team into this. I got everything right. Yeah. Yeah, I can't delay it anymore. You should do it today and tomorrow. Yeah. So, we're gonna start the Favonius quest today. I don't know how long it is. I know usually like one part of Star Quest is like almost 2 hours, so let's hope it's not that long. Sometimes 4. Ooh. You gotta make this proper.
Ah, Kaya, you found them.
Ayula! Oh my god, I missed you, girl! Yep, I managed to track them down. And unfortunately, I have to voice act for Kaya, because Kaya is currently not voice acted.
What's about to happen? It's great to have you in town.
Whoa, headquarters are packed. What's going on?
And yeah, we have the old voice actor for this one. I forgot. Oh. How am I gonna deal with her voice now? It's still so annoying as it was. Like, I can't help but find her freaking... It's so much better with the new voice. The new voice is so much better and more calmer for me. Now, like, the old one kind of, like, hurts my brain.
Honorary Knight Paimon. Oh, it's an honor to meet you. I believe introductions are in order?
Allow me. You have Note, captain of the second company, Skirion, captain of the third company, Ayula, captain of the fourth company, and me, of course, captain of the ninth company.
Oh, you're all captains?
That's so many. Holy cow. I go buy the new Lego Game Boy set and then a new phone. Oh!
That's right. Master Jean is waiting for you inside. She'll explain everything.
Is Jean voice acted? Nope. Traveler, Paimon, thank you for coming. Oh, this is... this is why I didn't want to start this quest before, because I don't want to read all of this. I don't. We're gonna read all of it. Is everything alright? There are a ton of people outside. Yes, that would be the captains. You know a few of them already, but I'm sure there are some new faces. There have been a number of incidents in Mondstadt. In order to wrap up the case, I gathered all the captains of the Knights of Favonius together to hold a trial. I have a big headache. Oof. I hope your headache gets better.
A trial? But this is Mondstadt, not Fontaine.
I can understand the confusion. You've never participated in one of our trials before. In truth, we haven't had to conduct one in quite some time. The Knights of Favonius oversee most matters of the law and order in Mondstadt. Of course, in the interest of fairness, major cases are tried jointly with the Church. Under the guidance of Barbados, Knights uphold chivalric justice in the spirit of our order, and the Church carries blessings and goodwill wherever the wind can reach. And today's case requires a joint trial by both parties.
Which means it's a serious one.
Hold on, the group of people we saw in the corridor just now, there was someone missing. Where's Albedo?
Right. He's the captain of the investigation team, but we didn't see him out there.
I wish all of the captains was playable characters instead of random NPCs that I will forget about after this. I just feel like Star Rail will have more 5-star characters. Yeah, so that's definitely a thing. Like, whenever it comes to, like, NPCs in, like, their other games, they feel a little bit more better in, like, Honkai Star Rail. Like, even, like, freaking the guy who barks when he loses something, like, was forced to bark because that was, like, the bet. He's more memorable than all the other people that are NPCs in Genshin Impact. Okay? There's only a few NPCs that I still remember that actually did an impact on me, but other than that, most NPCs I don't care about. I wish they had better designs. Like, they legit are like a copy and paste each time. When it comes to Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero, they're actually a little bit more, like, characterized. You don't have to work too much on NPCs, but if you want to bring in a memorable NPC for, like, a certain story or whatnot, make their design a little bit more different, you know? Star Rail should bring up more 4 stars, though, because I've been seeing a lot of 5 stars lately, and I cannot get them all. A keen observation. That happens to be exactly why I called you here in the upcoming trial against Captain Albedo. Fuck, it is true, he is on trial. We will do our utmost to understand the facts of this case and deliver a fair and impartial verdict.
Albedo is the one on trial? What
Did he fucking... What did he actually do? I've been hearing about, like... I know, like, stabbing Nouvelette was, like, an absolute joke, because of the event that happened during this quest. I find that's really funny. And then... But I've heard something about him. Did he murder someone? I thought I heard he murdered someone. We might get more 4-star in 4.0 version, since 3.8 will be basically the last Trail of Blazer quest. Yeah. Which is fair. Gee, that's... Oh my god! Of course! Thank you, Kaya, for bringing more suspense to what the fucking answer is. Thank you. Thank you, Kaya. Okay, I just want to know, did he murder someone or not? Do not answer that question, chat. Do not answer that question. Okay, I want to figure it out on my own. No spoilers. Also, I heard Cirkuros's voice actor was also fired. Wasn't it? Or left? I know I know, like, quite a few voice actors are being recasted. I don't think Sucrose will be, because we barely, like, see Sucrose anymore. You know? Like, it is a possibility, like, she'll be recasted, but it won't be, like, needed, like, unlike, what it was needed for, like, Paimon. Please sit wherever you like. I only ask that you remain. I still found it so weird. A glorious Trailblazer quest won't end into the end of 3.0. Well, it's definitely a big one. especially with all the cycles we have to go through. I'm joking. I don't know exactly what's going on. I haven't continued on that quest, which I also need to do, so do not spoil. Okay, I barely made it through a Morpheus. Those of the replacement are good, honestly. Yeah, like, Paimon's new replacement is so fucking good at her job. Like, it actually, yeah, like, it's more comforting, you know, than the previous voice actor, you know? It also kind of helps that she isn't, like, there's no controversy with the new, Paimon voice actor, because the previous one got in so much, like, oh my god, why was she ever forgiven for some of the shit she said? She's an absolute bitch. Or them. Are they a them? Are they a they them? I think there was something about them being they them. Sorry. You should misgender someone even if you hate them. But they were so rude, okay? They were and so pushy with other voice actors of joining the union. Hello, Daily! The OG Paimon became more and more annoying the more she voice acted. Yeah, like, I liked when Paimon was first voiced at the very beginning. It felt so nice and soft. And then they kind of, the voice actor for the old Paimon kind of leaned into the more annoying, childlike voice, which it's like each time, it's like I used to love Paimon because Paimon was caring, and is still like a caring character, but because of the voice, I always found her a bit freaking annoying. It's like, shut the fuck up, Paimon. You know? So now that the voice actor has changed, unfortunately I will have to still deal with some of her voice lines. It just, yeah, they became more squeaky and then annoying. Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad that there's a new voice actor that actually kind of replicates when Paimon's voice was a lot more, like, softer and whatnot, I would say. So, I'm so glad. And it feels like it's more of like, okay, now I can actually like Paimon. It's the same thing with other characters, like, sometimes when it comes to any character, if their voice doesn't fit right with me, I don't tend to like that character as much as I want to. And also, it's really hard to stomach some voice actors if you know they did something really bad. For example, the old voice actor for Tainari, when he turned out to be a fucking pedophile and whatnot, and yeah, oh, no. Like, whenever I heard his old voice, even on old videos before the allegations, like, I felt sick to my stomach. Like, I had to change the language, because at that point, I was a Tainari main, and I still wanted to play him. I just couldn't handle the English voice, so I switched it over to Japanese, or I like Korean's voiceover. I really like Korean's voiceover for some reason. Maybe it's because I like K-drama. That might be it. But yeah, I had to switch over to another voice, like another language for the voice acting. I would have rather read anything than hear the freaking voice of the old voice actor for Tainari. And another thing, I can't stand Cha-Ching's voice because of how bad the voice actor was, and absolutely horrible person she was being, near, like, recently, like, absolute bitch. Like, and then, of course, Paimon's VA. The English actor said of this is always weird than Asian side. Yeah. Like, honestly, what I've heard is, like, the freaking voice actors in the Japanese version, the Korean version, the Chinese version, like, for Paimon specifically, are absolutely saints. Like, not like I wouldn't, like, think of them as saints personally. I don't know them, but they're really nice people and whatnot, and they don't get into controversy, and oftentimes they don't, like, push their head cannons on people, unlike the one that is English. Like, a lot of people on the internet in the like in Asia, like, literally have, like, said this is like, why is your English voice actor so weird? Like, what I feel bad for the English listeners. And it's like, yeah, fair enough. The Chinese fans base hated the old English Paimon. Yeah, they did. Honestly, I'm glad that we could, like, the Genshin community could connect on this because we all hated the old one. Like, ever since she started to spill, like, a lot of, like, it specifically what got me first was how, like, she was kind of, like, trauma dumping on people a lot. Like, they kept on trauma dumping so much on people, especially about, like, headcanons about Child or Tartaglia and such. And it felt so weird that it also, like, sort of, like, guilt-tripping some commenters, and it's just, like, these people don't know your fucking life, okay? They don't know that you had an abusive ex, okay? Jesus Christ. You don't have to, like, freaking trauma dump on everything. Like, we were talking about the headcanon that you had for Child and whatnot. It wasn't that deep, bro. Wasn't that deep. You didn't have to call someone randomly like, oh, you act like my ex. And it's like, what the fuck? When Paimon became how she is after 1.0, I got very tired of the game. For real! Like, yeah, I wish it never came to this. I don't. This is why I don't. First off, I don't own Twitter or TikTok because of this shit. Okay, because it always tends to boil down. It's like you're gonna find out like something like how people's like true colors go when it comes to those sort of things, specifically Twitter. I wonder if 6.0 will be interested without that person. Interesting. Yeah. Like, definitely, I'm glad that they have replaced the voice actor for Paimon, and I hope she gets big money from, like, voice acting, because, like, I get where some things weren't fair, like, not getting paid and whatnot, because you are doing your job. Like, I'm totally agree on that side, but forcing people to try to join your union, and, like, in threatening ways, and then sort of gaslighting people is like, that never happened, or whatnot, is so, yeah. Farina's VA Amber, she's amazing. I heard, yeah. I love Venti's VA. I believe Erica, right? I love Venti's VA because she actually like sings some songs and literally did the song like Soldier Poet King. One, and it was just like it was like basically Venti's voice that she was using. Oh my god, it was such a Venti song. It was so a Venti song. But also, it's just like she also like spoke out against like the emo she's been getting from the union. So, her studio immediately became main studio after the drama. Yeah. So I'm glad that they've changed studios. So, anyway, I think we're done talking about controversy with Genshin because I think that's done and over with. Luckily, we don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore. We gotta continue this story before this ends up being like more than like 2 hours, like 4 hours or something like that. Because I have 2 days. I have 2 days to do this. Don't worry, the trial will be fair. Okay. Now that everyone is gathered, let us begin. Hi, Albedo! What the fuck did you do? With Grandmaster Varka away from Mansa at the time being, Jean Gallender will oversee today's process. Sorry, I am opening up a fruit roll-up. I've been having way too many of these today, but I want fruit. It takes months to move to VAs there. I do those in 1 or 2 days. Yeah. These in 1 or 2 days. Yeah. Like, I've been very lazy with this because I don't want to read all this shit. Like, I wanted the voice actors to be back by now. Okay, I thought they would be back by, like, at least some of them. Like, I don't think Albeda's voice is back, isn't he? Like, I love Albeda's voice actor. Like, I cannot imagine not hearing him from his freaking mouth. Nestordalia, deacon of the Church of Favonius, will serve as assessor. As representatives of our respective organizations, we will ensure a just verdict in this case.
Oh, that's a new face. Deacon of the church. Does that mean he works with Barbara and Rosaria?
The defendant in today's case is Captain Albedo of the investigation team. Albedo. Ugh. Albedo, what do you do? I am asking the same question. Certain aspects of this case are classified, and it remains uncertain whether the alleged victims or citizens of Mondstadt as such. This trial is not open to the public. The identity of the victims are still unknown. Strange. If guilt is established in this case, all facts will be made public after the final verdict is delivered. Now, the captain of the logistics company, Miss Hartha, will represent charges. The court appoints Mr. Kaya to speak on Mr. Albedo's behalf. Are both parties ready to proceed? Yes.
Ready to proceed.
Oh, yeah. He has a star on his neck. Yeah, he has a star on his neck. He's not an imposter. Is he an imposter? Wait, fuck. Wait, is it because of imposter Albedo that he's been doing all this stuff and people think it's actually, like, real Albedo, but it's actually imposter Albedo? Is imposter Albedo back? Hold up. Is imposter Albedo back? Miss Hartha, the floor is yours.
Prior to this trial, the Knights of Favonius, in conjunction with the church, launched an investigation into Mr. Albedo for suspected murder and unlawful disposal of human remains.
It was murder. Fuck.
Murder?
Bro, Albedo, you cannot be my boy? I'm sorry, what? I need to hear his voice. I hope he's voice acted, but I highly doubt it because I think he hasn't been recently voice acted, hasn't he?
A witness stated that, 11 days ago, in the middle of the night, she saw the defendant southeast of the city gates, dragging a large object she later identified as a human body.
No. There's no way.
The fake Albedo doesn't have the star on him, I believe. Yeah, he doesn't have the star. That's what I'm thinking right now. That imposter Albedo did the crime, but the real Albedo is right here standing trial. That's one of the things that I think of. That could be possibly an explanation of this. Or there's a mass hysteria going on. I don't know. I don't... Here's the thing. Albedo's too smart to get caught, okay? And he literally lives, basically lives in the mountain, you know? So, like, how did he get caught? He could have, like, stuffed the body in the mountain and nobody would go looking because, barely anyone goes up there. I can't believe, I don't believe he got caught. That's the thing. How? He's too smart for this shit. He's too smart for this shit. Yes, I would trust Albedo to hide the body for me. Kill someone and hide the body for me. Literally. Okay, if it's one of the people that I had to call to help me hide the body, it would be Albedo. Bro's a fucking alchemist. Okay, he could probably figure out a way to, like, I don't know, dissolve the body in bones? Or freaking, if it happens in the mountain, then just, like, freaking, like, push it into, like, a frozen lake or something. Or into the ocean. Like, he's too smart for this. Like, sure, he has eaten, like, a live spider before, and that was kind of weird, but I would trust him to hide the body for me. Okay? He is one of the people in Genshin Impact I would trust that, like, task for. Okay? So I can't believe it. Best way to hide a body is not to try that hard. Exactly! Like, literally, like, what you can do... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just teaching my chat how to commit murder right now. Do it Dexter style. It is very unlikely for people to find bodies in big heaps of water. Unless you get really unlucky of where you put it. Put them in, like, the deepest trenches of the underwater world. They will not be found. Put rocks with them. Stab their fucking lives. So I'm sorry. I shouldn't be explaining murder to chat right now. Millions of people gone missing every year. Some of them are found, but some of them was just gone. Exactly. And I bet most of the bodies or the people that have gone missing are probably in the depths of the water right now. Because we only know 2%. Only probably went up to 3% recently. Was it 3% recently? I don't know. Of the ocean has been explored. Okay? And nobody is willing to scour the entire ocean around the world to find a dead person. They only consider, like, ground area and maybe the nearby, like, lakes and stuff. But have you, like, I've seen those videos where literally people's, like, cars are in lakes and whatnot, and, like, because they drove off the road. And their bodies are in there, but they haven't been found for years until recently when people actually started looking in the lakes. So how would it be possible to find someone in a huge body of water called the ocean? I'm sorry. It's almost impossible. It may be somewhat possible, but there's like a 0.0001% chance of that happening. Like, I'm not blind to this. Now, this doesn't mean I'm a murderer, guys, okay? I'm too much of a pussy to go through that, and plus I would cry and probably turn myself in. Just so you know, okay? I wouldn't actually murder someone. Plus, I'm not that strong enough, okay? I am literally... I don't work out at all. I would fail. And plus, I don't think I have that amount of rage to kill somebody. Okay? Okay, I'm literally crying over my dog having cancer. I don't... And I also, like, imagine if my parents, like, especially my mom, have died, like, in my mind, as, like, I would be devastated. Or even, like... I wouldn't think of killing people, okay? The thought of death makes me cry, okay? Cave is a no. Blake says also a no. I say bury someone in a forest in a 5 to 4 feet grave. But here's the thing. Even if you did do that in a forest, there is still most likely, especially if it's a nearby forest or something, or like if there's like there tends to be people who hike through it. Like it eventually, like I've seen so many cases where people have been found in forests, like bodies have been found. It's still possible. Especially if they get dug up, because you know no matter if it is a search dog or a random owl or not an owl, animal, they will be dug up. Okay? The body have to become skeleton in days and not months. Yeah. Like there will be some remnants, and even if you try to dig like a 5 to 4 feet grave, that will take a lot of time and you will be noticed. That's why a lot of bodies tend to be found in shallow graves that are like less around like a feet down, because they only have like so much time. And so they always fail to hide the body that way. So unless it's really a desolate place, like in the mountains somewhere, there is still a likelihood of a body being found. But I know, like, especially in big hiking places, like with mountains and whatnot, there tends to be a lot of missing persons because of how big, like, mountains tend to be in the forest areas. If it's not populated enough, yeah, sure, that might be a case, but you can still find probably dead bodies. Anyway, so I say the ocean, okay? The ocean is the best way. If it's on ground, you will find it. Okay, like, I've... Why am I explaining how to hide a body on stream? Yeah, you can't bury under 5 feet because the police will know about it. Yeah, exactly. But also, don't forget, if they're going to be searching for someone, especially if they're reported missing, unless it's a person that wouldn't be reported missing, there is a most likelihood of there being search dogs. And they have fucking good noses. So even if it's 5 feet underground, I bet they can smell the decay of rotting flesh more than freaking, like, probably 10 feet underground. Like, they have strong noses. It's not the humans that are smelling, it's the dogs. And yeah, I wouldn't say a force is the best option. It's definitely an option, but not the best option. Pepper, still, they can still smell. Dogs have high, big noses. Like, no matter what, even, like, the people who said, like, oh, just put an endangered plant over it or something. That's illegal to, like, bury up. How are you gonna get an, like, endangered plant, first off? It's like, oh, maybe I'll just put a dead animal on it. Once again, I bet they'll probably search deeper a little bit. I don't know, because they're specifically looking for one person. And the dogs definitely did not smell freaking sheep meat. Okay? Like, I literally saw this. I don't know. I think the dog won. Even with the smell of skunk, a canine will still track someone down. Even if they smell like complete skunk and they put it, like, to try to completely conceal their smell, they will still smell you. Pepper won't help. Okay, if skunk smell can't help, pepper won't help. Just saying. And plus, like, sure, there's probably a lot of missing bodies, like, around the place that that have not been found. Like, there is very slim chance of someone missing to be found, especially a body. So I would definitely say, yeah, it's kind of glorified of, like, oh, like, this person missing. Like, there has been a lot of missing persons cases that are most likely people who ran away or are dead. And we just don't know where their bodies are. But knowing from watching all the crime cases if possible, I have never heard much about finding human bodies underwater. Okay, sure, some have lifted up to the surface and whatnot, and that's why they've been found at a shore or something. But if they're underwater and submerged completely in it, and especially after they decompose and whatnot and they rot away, there is less than a likelihood they would be found. So yeah. Anyways, time to do the quest. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Do not follow these steps, chat, okay? Do not commit murder, please. Please do not commit murder. Okay, I sure I might be telling you how to hide a body or something, but yeah, you will. There will probably be still evidence left all over you. You haven't learned how to commit murder. I've only told you how to hide a body. You have not learned how to commit murder. That's so. Even if you knew, you wouldn't know how to get rid of the evidence of the other stuff. Bodies underwater doesn't rot; they get eaten instead. Yeah, in some cases, yeah, but they also kind of turn into mush. So once they're disturbed, it kind of, like, separates. I know this from, like, people who are cave divers who died. It is unfortunate that they don't exactly rot, but yeah, they would be eaten by a bunch of fish, like, slowly. That's for certain. But they'll also be too far down, so a bunch of creatures will probably be there underwater. So, yeah.
We now call that witness to the stand. Beatrice, please tell us what you saw.
Well, I was out late that night on business. And when I came back, I saw someone in the moonlight that looked like Mr. Albedo. He was dragging a huge bag of some kind.
Bro, stop looking down like that. You look completely guilty, man. I don't know. Bro.
I thought it was strange.
Are you guilty, Albedo? Is that it? Are you just
There
out
was a
guilty?
sudden flash of golden light. The bag opened, and inside there was a body. Mr. Albedo's vision allows him to manipulate the ground with ease. So he buried it, and then removed any traces on the ground.
Why wouldn't you just bury the body somewhere else, Albedo?
Before he left, it seemed like he looked in my direction. Maybe it was just my imagination. I was terrified, thinking he might kill me, too. Luckily, he didn't see me.
We did not see his neck. It is imposter, Albedo. I now return to the defendant. Describe your whereabouts that night. Damn it, he's not voice acted. I was working in my office on the second floor of the Knights of Favonius headquarters. That's right, the next day the defendant submitted his latest environmental report on the Dragonspine region. Considering the length of the text, it must have taken a considerable amount of time to finish.
Can anyone attest to the fact that the defendant was working in his office that night?
No. Oh, Albedo, you don't have an alibi.
Then the length of the report is not a sufficient alibi. This isn't looking good.
If the crime did occur as you described, then what about the body? You mentioned the joint investigation. Well, was the body recovered?
Not yet.
In other words, you dug up the location Miss Beatrice described and found nothing. You don't find that suspicious. Hold up. Kai, you have some loopholes in your thing. First off, they said not yet. So that means they have not looked there. Possibly. Second, there is a big possibility, even though if Albedo, or if it was Albedo, did end up seeing Beatrice, perchance, he could have easily changed the body's location if he knew about Beatrice being there, if he acted like he knew it was being there. And he could easily do that because of his geopowers. Just saying. I go be watching anime right now. XD. Yeah, sure, go right ahead. I'm sorry, I'm a big crime case addict. So when it comes to this stuff, it's like there is flaws in your accusation, Kaya. I will say that. So, yeah.
I know what I saw. I'm telling the truth, Miss Hertha, I swear. Also, didn't you say that speaking out would help protect the people of Mondstadt? Otherwise...
You're doing the right thing. Besides, the investigation wasn't fruitless. A single man's shoe and a torn piece of fabric were found in the bushes near the crime scene.
One thing, does that have any proof that it was part of the body? It could be just a random shoe. Does it have any blood on it? Just saying, I'll let you continue, but even so, surprisingly, it happens a lot. A lot of people lose shoes. And also another thing, Albedo's not dumb enough to do that. I'm saying it right now. I trust him to hide a body for me. He wouldn't be dumb enough to leave a shoe behind, especially...
The same location the witness described. If no crime occurred, then is all this just a coincidence?
Easily could be. Easily could be, okay? Surprisingly, a lot of people lose shoes all the time. I don't know why. I've seen shoes all over the place. It happens. and yet no victim has been identified. Correct. Here's the thing. When it comes to some laws, if there is no body, there is no case. Just saying, when it comes to a murder case, if there's no body, there's no case. You cannot prove if someone is dead. You should watch a Hyoka anime. It's a very mystery anime if you like mystery animes. I do like those. I'll probably do like it. Like send it to me on Discord so I remember the name afterwards. But I will continue to say this because I think this is more prominent in America, but it can be prominent in other places, is because you have not exactly proven if there has been someone who has been dead. So, is it really going to be a murder charge? It can't be a murder charge because you don't know if there is even a body that was murdered. Literally, that is the main thing that you're here today, is saying that, oh, he murdered someone and tampered with the body. If you have no body, you can't confirm that. That is a weak case. Okay, you need to have the body first. Even just a limb would help. It's a lighthearted mystery anime with only one season, so it got that, ooh, okay. It got that curse, but honestly, yeah, sure, I'll definitely watch it. And maybe there's a manga. Maybe I'll read the manga if they have a manga, and if it continues. But yeah. This is why I know so much about hiding bodies, is because of how many times people have fucking failed to hide bodies. Let's be clear about that. But yeah, because like I don't know if the laws have changed, but I distinctly remember there was a case where there was one, like, a witness, but they couldn't, but it was said that the guy did kill someone else, but because there was no body, they could not bring that to trial. They could only bring up the SA charges, not the murder charges, because if there was no body, which has never been found to this day. So, this is why I'm so adamant about this, because you need to have a body to do a murder charge. Manga further ahead than the anime. Okay, yeah. Yay, I love the manga. I would love to read the manga if it's a good anime. I'll definitely see it later. But I love that I'm overanalyzing this because, like, yeah. And, like, it's really unfortunate that it has come to those conclusions, even though, like, even if the defendant has admitted to a murder, they can't charge him, like, them with murder unless there is full proof, and especially if there is a body to do that. One season curse. Yeah. It is unfortunate, but hey, I'd rather it be one season than bad seasons, you know?
It's true. No one has been reported missing. However, Miss Beatrice harbors no ill will toward the defendant. Her testimony clearly points to a crime, and she has no reason to lie.
And here's the thing, testimony alone does not prove anything. Testimony is weak unless there's evidence. So, even if Beatrice is, like, telling, like, the truthest of truths, it would not matter. It would not matter unless there was evidence of the crime. So, even with testimony, no. You cannot. And this happens a lot. And it's unfortunate that a lot of testimonies would be put away at the sidelines because there is no proof to back it up. And this is why I tend to feel like a lot of people start to record many things when they feel of being wronged. So they have evidence because of this thing where it happens in court a lot, where testimony alone can't help you. Like, no matter what, even if there's, like, many people who, like, have the exact same thing, exact same story, it's only testimony. And it's more of, like, it causes it to be in a position where it's not the defendant is found, like, guilty without a doubt. It is the defendant is found guilty with some doubt in the best case scenario. If it's the worst case scenario, it is not guilty. 5 out of 10 times those crimes will be throwaway. Yeah, exactly. If you only have testimony, will be throwaway unless you have things. And this is why I feel sad a lot about people, especially who are younger, who are taken advantage of, like, either if they're younger or older and whatnot, and they're too afraid to speak out until years later. It cannot be proven unless there's evidence of it happening. Either it be pictures of bruises or a certain test. So it is unfortunate. There are still innocent people are still being thrown to jail. Yeah, definitely there is some flaws to that as well, because sometimes people take testament with that, and also sometimes people make fake evidence, and it's really unfortunate that sometimes justice doesn't do it correctly, especially in the court. Like, no matter what, when it comes down to it, a lot of times it tends to not be a happy ending no matter what. Like, there are some happier endings with some cases, especially the big giant ones, but when it comes to cases like being taken advantage of and whatnot, unfortunately those cases tend to be clearly, like, taken the wrong way. And in one way or another. And it's not taken seriously. I think that there should be more, like 60% of people are in jail are innocent, so it's slowly becoming of not knowing who's guilty or nowadays. I wouldn't say 60%. I would say, I don't think it would be 60%. That's a bit too much. Because thinking about all the cases that have been, like, put away because, like, nothing could continue to court, I would say it would be more like 15%. Because they're, like, and most of the time when it comes to those sort of things, like, it tends to not be thrown to jail immediately. They tend to be on, like, probation. Or house arrest. So, yeah, I wouldn't say 60%. I would say more to close to 15%. Because most of the time, people do take it seriously. It's always those bad apples that tend to get a lot more views, though, about cases going wrong. Those cases tend to be the ones that are talked about more, so it seems more likely that those happen. But generally, it's not a lot. There are those bad apples, though. Don't forget about the false shit, too. Like, I get that. Like, the false shit is especially cruel. But, yeah, like I said, still 15%. I would say a lot of the cases that do tend to be where it is in bad faith, especially if there's lying in court, yeah, definitely there would, like, it definitely gets a lot more press than other cases. And it's like, oh yeah, you can see people lying and whatnot. This tends to be a lot when it comes to propaganda, because thinking about it, yeah, this would happen. But it's more or less likely of that happening because, first off, who wants to spend that type of money? Only people who are dumb. The well-known one is Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, is those types of cases where Amber Heard definitely put a lot of shit on Johnny Depp. Yeah. Was absolute, like, at least mostly false. But that was because it was such a big thing and it happened with celebrities, so a lot of people think this happens to a lot of people. And generally, it won't happen most of the time, but that was definitely a big case that brought up the topic of possible falsehoods in the justice system. So I would say that. Like, I definitely know that there's probably quite a bit of cases that have been, like, falsely done, especially when it comes... Yeah, all Johnny Depp's ex-girlfriend was on the side, which tells you a lot about him. Yeah, it's... Yeah. It was really... And also another thing, that girl had money, okay? They had money to do that court case. And that's the thing. A lot of people, like, a lot of people don't want to do false things, and a lot of people tend to avoid court because of how much money it costs, especially to get a lawyer and whatnot, and how much stress it is, and also possibly putting a strain on their job because they're probably missing some days to, like, talk to their lawyer and whatnot, or getting evidence. So, it is very less likely. I would say even less than 15%. It definitely does happen. I won't deny that. But it's definitely not 60%. That case destroyed her career, thankfully. It did, but it also did destroy Johnny Depp's career, which is sad. That is the sad part of some cases, is it tends to destroy both lives, no matter what side you're on. Johnny Depp no longer works for Pirates, like Disney and whatnot, or Warner Brothers, was it? For like Pirates of the Caribbean, for obvious reasons, because they literally fired him on the spot when they heard of these allegations and not wait till it was found either him being guilty or not guilty. This is why there's a thing of wait, like it's an allegation unless it's proven otherwise. Okay? So that's another thing. So I'm only talking about this mainly because like I've been learning about Disney is actually trying to get him back now. Yeah, which is not going to happen because they've already wronged him. And it's like, it clearly shows their priorities over people is like, they're not willing to wait. And they don't want to put a stain on their company's name, so they just decide to get rid of that problem. And yeah, now they lost a great actor. So. Which is unfortunate because I absolutely loved Johnny Depp when he was in the Pirates of the Caribbean. Absolutely wonderful actor. But honestly, I'm glad that he knows his worth. So, yeah. Clearly, you guys can probably tell by now, I like viewing court cases. And I know the nitty-gritties a little bit more than people would think I do. Like, of course, I don't know every aspect. Like, court is complicated, especially when it comes to like certain things like hearsay and whatnot. And also these little things of like not having evidence to back testimony and whatnot. So, once again, they do not have evidence to back up her testimony. So, currently, her statement is invalid, even if it is the full hard truth. That is the point that I'm making right now. Oh. Love talking a lot. Does the defendant wish to say anything in response? You may believe otherwise, Miss Hertha, but I did not kill a single person. As a knight and captain of the investigation team, I have a duty to protect Mondstadt and its people. You accuse me of murder, but there's no body or motive. That's another thing. There is no motive. Because why would Albedo have a motive to kill somebody? And since they don't know who is the supposed body, they can't figure out their relation. That's another thing. At least we get Johnny Depp movies again. Yeah, I'm so glad that too. I'm glad he was able to clear his name. Amber Heard was... And unfortunately, because of Amber Heard, a lot of, like, once again, the talk about, like, there being fake cases, she literally put down, she kind of put a bad light to actual victims who have dealt with some similar stuff that she had claimed in the court of law, and now it's like, it was already hard to begin with some women, like, coming out to talk about abuse and against, significant others and whatnot. And now, because of Amber Heard doing, like, with the makeup and stuff right now that was proven, yeah, it kind of messed up the relationship with some things with the justice system and women victims. Or even men victims of abuse. Okay? Any sort of abuse, it kind of... because of how much press that had. Which is sad. Okay, I always believe in the statement, it's like, I only like, until they're found guilty, undoubtedly guilty, or undoubtedly innocent, I will keep Like, I will not believe either or. Like, until all of the facts are out, they should be. Because each time that I did it without all the facts and not asking for all the facts, I messed up so hard. Okay, I did this multiple times with some of my friends, and I feel bad to this day that I didn't get all the facts. And I feel bad each time that I think about some of the incidents where I didn't look into all the facts. So that's why I am definitely a believer of getting all the facts first, and then having the evidence and figuring out which is which, okay? Like, yeah. So.
The defendant raises an important point. Motive. Yet, I must be frank, not all murders are premeditated. Spontaneous conflict can also have unforeseen consequences.
That is true in some cases, especially when it comes to cases with men. Like, this is actually, like, a statistic where men, when it comes to motives for men, it tends to be spontaneous. Well, when it comes to women, it tends to be premeditated. Of course, it can be also premeditated by men. It is very much possible, but when it comes to some things, especially when it's, like, it tends to be, like, it tends to be a lot about, like, ego or something like that. That's what I'm getting at. But other than that, yeah, sure, it might be that, but technically a spontaneous conflict tends to also be a motive. No matter what, there is a motive. And it could be simple as I just wanted to kill a person that day. Okay, even though if it was like a serial killer on the loose and just wanted to murder that day, yeah. And yeah, and also like the profile of the victims. Still, we do not have a body either. So, you can't confirm if this is motive or spontaneous conflict. You have to have a damn body. I'm sorry, that is what happens in the court of law.
Nevertheless, I don't intend to prosecute this case on circumstantial evidence alone.
Yeah, it's all circumstantial.
Which brings me to the second charge against Mr. Albedo.
Which is, like, for the...
Second charge?
Okay, there's more charges? I didn't catch up on Genshin story after Natlan release, so what's the story? Right now, Albedo's on trial for murder, and also for a second charge that I don't know yet. So, I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, so apparently something's been happening in Mondstadt, so we're back in Mondstadt. And right now I'm overanalyzing every single freaking thing about this court because I am a big, I love looking into court cases, and especially when it comes to, like, certain charges and whatnot, and I tend to overanalyze it a lot because of how much I know about court cases and how they usually run by just viewing them alone and some little bit of research. So right now I'm kind of dissecting it a bit too much, and I should be continuing on. Like, how long have I been dissecting this shit? I haven't barely moved from the quest in like freaking 45 minutes at least, because I've been just going at it. It's like, this is not possible. Please proceed.
7 days ago, at dawn, a witness saw the defendant dispose of the body of an adult male in the area between Dragonspine and Dawn Winery.
Is that D-Luke? Now, once again, is there a body?
I now call the second witness to the stand.
This is, once again, if there is no body, there is no case. So a second murder charge with no body, like adult male. They said, did they say adult male? Nevertheless, 7 days ago at dawn, a witness saw the defendant dispose of a body of adult male in the area between Dragonspine and Dawn Winery. So, it's confirmed to be an adult male, so who is it?
Wait, that's...
D-Luke? Oh, D-Luke. Yeah, I knew it was fucking D-Luke. Please tell the court what you saw. At around 3:40 in the morning, I saw Mr. Albedo dispose of a body beneath a cliff. It was dark, but he used the power of Geo to illuminate his surroundings. From what I could tell, it looked like the body of an adult male, tall, and thin, but I couldn't make out the age. He buried the body underneath the cliff and smoothed out the ground to remove any traces.
We now have accounts from 2 separate witnesses that describe the same modus operandi. Would you call that a coincidence?
It could be. Once again, is there a body? I swear to God, if there isn't a body, if you better tell us if there's a body. Because it does not confirm anything, okay? Even though it's like 2 people came forward. Okay, it's the same thing for, like, people, like, even with that, it's like, it's only testimony. I would like to inquire as to what Mr. Dillick was doing in that area so early in the morning, not the most opportune time for a stroll. Is there such a thing? Dawn Winery is my home. It's not unusual for me to take walks in the area. Fair enough. That is fair. But still, is there a body? That's my question. I just happen to be in the right place at the right time. That's all. Why are you looking down, man? Why do you look so guilty? Master Dalek is a well-respected figure in Mondstadt. I see no reason for him to frame Mr. Albedo. Yet the question remains, where are the bodies? Exactly!
Before you suggest a lack of evidence, Mr. Kaya, you should know. After the defendant left that morning, the witness found this where the body was buried.
And this is what it looks like to teeth and a femur of a human. Now, it does beg to question if the burial was fresh. Well, is this all that remains of the body? But I suppose Mr. Albedo is the only one who can answer that. Is there any... Whoa. Okay, now at that point, now you have a bit of a body. But do you have... Okay, now that gets hard. That's where you actually have evidence. Now, do you know who the person is? That's the thing. And didn't D-Luke specifically say it looked like adult male? He wouldn't have known that if it was just bones. Is there meat on it? I don't know. Oh my god, why am I being so graphic? Oh god. Like, because the way it was described, it sounded like he could figure out it was human male. How would he know that? Were there still clothes that looked like someone of a male person would wear? Was it how they looked, their structure and whatnot? If it was only bones, it would be very difficult to tell without DNA samples. And I don't think they have anything DNA-ish studies in this universe. So I doubt they have that. Careful now, D-Luke. I do believe I hear a presumption of guilt in there somewhere.
These remains suggest an accelerated rate of decomposition. Considering the defendant's profession, there's reason to suspect that alchemy is at play here.
Do you have any proof that there's alchemy play out here? Or did you just stumble upon just a body that was already decomposition like a while ago?
Both witnesses saw golden light, a known byproduct of alchemy. That's how the defendant destroyed the bodies. The light also explains how the witnesses were able to get a clear view of the events in the dark.
That's just superstition. That's just superstition. There is no proof that that golden light was in fact alchemy. Let's be honest. And there is no proof that alchemy was exactly used on the bodies. If there was any residue from alchemy, I guess that would be evidence, but exactly how would you tell if he did use alchemy on that? It could have been completely anything else. It could have been already decomposed or something like that. Or it was because of specifically the weather. Okay? Here's a bit of, I guess, biology/science for you guys. When it's really hot, or if a body that is dead, no longer pumping blood, is out in the heat for long, it decomposes quickly. If it is cold, they tend to be more sustained, preventing rigor mortis, which is the stiffness in the joints. So, that's a thing. How hot it was. Also, like, yeah, that's my question right there. I fucking know all of this. Why the fuck do... Okay, like, I'm very skeptical about that because, like, sure, it is a possibility, but you're saying it as fact, and that's what's getting wrong at me. This is not exactly fact, but speculation. That's what I'm getting at, guys. So that's your angle. Alchemy. Logical assessment, but we have a witness of our own. The afternoon before the alleged second murder, Mr. Arvea had a lengthy intellectual exchange with his student. Mr. Gross, the two were in the library until the next morning. Why did the discussion last so long? Mr. Gross was presenting a result of her research. She noticed some flaws in the data. Instead of reviewing her calculations until the next morning with Mr. Albedo present. That's right, we were in the library together.
You're certain Mr. Albedo was present the whole time?
This is so... It's Imposter Beto. It's Imposter Beto. This has to be Imposter Beto's doing. Yes, and I know Mr. Albedo would never kill someone. He could never be that cruel.
Nevertheless, the other witnesses have no reason to lie. Tell me, Miss Sucrose, that meeting in the library, were you awake the whole time? Sounds like a considerable duration to go without sleep.
They're scientists. They don't sleep. It's like telling a person who's a student nurse, like, how many hours have you slept? And they will literally say probably, I haven't slept for 72 hours. You underestimate people who are, like, in love with their craft or need to study. If Albedo was killer, he is an alchemist, so he can just vanish the body without trace or something like that. Plus, why do look like he is setting up some things? Exactly! Like, I don't think D-Luke is setting up anything specifically. Like, he's a big figure of justice. And it's probably not D-Luke that's doing this shit. I'm pretty sure it's probably Imposter Albedo. Okay, that is my thought right now. But, yeah. Once again, Albedo's too smart for this shit. Like I said before, like freaking 40 minutes to an hour ago, I would trust Albedo to hide a body because he's too smart to play dumb. Okay, he wouldn't be dumb enough to be near the damn Dawn Winery. Where he like, bro, he would probably throw it in the ocean or hide it in the mountains with him. Or maybe Child or something. Child's not in this right now. I think he's back at Snezhnaya right now. No, okay, like, to explain, I don't know if you were here for this event, Peter, but there was an event specifically in Mondstadt. I think it was probably, I don't think it was a Windbloom festival per se, but it was one with Albedo, and we figured out that, you know that flower enemy that pops out of the ground sometimes, especially if you pick up, like, a Sunsetia or something like that. I think not a Sunsetia, but a dandelion. They figured out that they can, like, change forms and whatnot to, like, camouflage. And this was a sort of metaphor to someone known as, like, who appeared in that quest near the end, Imposter Albedo. And it's like, it kind of has been left in kind of the Genshin Impact community's mind. And the only way we knew it was Imposter Albedo is because he did not have a star on his neck. So we've been, like, very suspicious about that. It's like, with a star or no star, it's like, yeah, there was a whole thing with that. So that's why I'm thinking it's Imposter Albedo. So.
I do hope you can be truthful with us. It concerns the safety of countless Mondstadt citizens. A crime like...
I'll take it from here. During our meeting, Sucrose did fall asleep not long after midnight. It's alright, Sucrose. You don't have to lie for me. This is a sacred place of judgment. The truth is paramount.
Mr. Albedo.
I see. Then I'm afraid your alibi cannot be substantiated. Do you understand? Yes, I know claiming innocence without proof isn't enough. But the prosecution argument has its own holes. There has been no mention of a motive or what exact method could reduce a human body to those remains. Exactly.
No conclusive evidence of guilt. But the witness accounts do match to an extent that can't be dismissed. This is a tricky one.
It sure is, but once again, it's like we only have a bit of parts of a body, which is teeth and a femur. That's the only thing we have, and there is no proof of the other murder. Or maybe there is someone who can change forms, and he saw Delux, so he changed the form of Albedo, who was in his way to mess up things, so he decided to camouflage it in Albedo's body, so he can convict the murder, and be, yeah, he is gone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about imposter Albedo, because he's basically literally Albedo, but, and looks like Albedo, and that's what I'm saying, is that it's probably imposter Albedo. I wouldn't say there's anyone who can change forms like that, other than Whopper Flowers, that's what they're called. And this, presumably, imposter Albedo. So, yeah, this is why I believe it is imposter Albedo if these accounts are correct. Even if they're both telling the truth, and even if they have, like, the same sort of thing happening, there is no evidence of a motive or Albedo actually, like, and also neither, like, actually murdering the person. There is nothing about him generally murdering a person. Maybe he's hiding a body for somebody else. That's another thing. There has been no admission of guilt to say otherwise, so, like, but another thing is Albedo does not have an alibi, so that is fair.
Allow me to submit another piece of evidence. The investigators intercepted one of Mr. Albedo's correspondences. I will now read the pertinent parts to the court.
A correspondence? I know that envelope does look like it belongs to Mr. Albedo.
I have never abandoned the subject of human research. In fact, delving deeper into Dragonspine has led me to realize that the concept of life could be further expanded and transformed into that of birth.
That's literally what he has been studying all fucking along. What do you mean? He's been studying that for the entire time since 500 years ago because of his master who told him to figure out the concept of life and how to make it. This is not out of pocket for Albedo, and this does not prove anything. The subject of human research is also very much broad. It doesn't mean killing someone and figuring that shit out. Okay? It's literally just understanding humans. I'm sorry, huh? Maybe the people here don't know that, but, like, it literally, we've learned this from Albedo, like, multiple times, that he is trying to figure out the concept of life and how to recreate it.
The mystery of human birth is often linked to death. As such, death is the most suitable material for the creation of new life. To that end, we must engage in a process of putrefaction and refinement.
Okay, well, that kind of, never mind, okay? That kind of does do something, but let's be honest, he has been, like, mainly researching the Dragon Durin, who was technically, like, his brother, and he's dead, and he's been, like, studying, like, the dragon remains forever. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's using that remains or other human remains that are already dead. I don't know. I don't think... Okay, Alberto did put him in a hard spot here. Let's be honest. Fortification and refinement.
Is that in reference to an alchemical process?
The letter continues. Experimental trials have been carried out in the northwestern part of Dragonspine, in the area southeast of Mondstadt's main gate. The data is as expected. Just as you endeavored to do, I too shall take up the path of creation and break through current limitations to reach a new realm of living beings.
Albedo, you kind of put yourself into this. Okay, now at that point, we can't really defend you on that because that is somewhat can be presumed as an admission of guilt. Especially in those two places that I'm pretty sure, if I am not wrong, are the two locations that you were presumably found burying bodies. Yeah, I can't. Now, I will say, has it been confirmed that this is he like, because Sukaro only said it does look like something Albedo would have, but is it actually Albedo's thing? Even if it's signed Albedo, how can we permanently tell without handwriting analysis if there has been, if it is his handwriting? That's the only thing that I can argue with right now. That I can think of. I trust the investigators have confirmed this to be the defendant's handwriting and that the letter makes more than past measurement of petrification and environment. Thank you, Jean. Thank you.
Correct. Not to mention, the locations indicated in the letter match both crime scenes. What more can we trust than the defendant's own words?
More evidence? Just saying. Especially bodies. Find the fucking bodies. We have dogs in this universe. You should have canines. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, it can't.
I can't.
A guilty verdict cannot be delivered without sufficient evidence. In order to protect all parties involved, that is what our principles demand. My original assessment was that we lacked said evidence. But now, it seems the only remaining questions are the identities of the victims and the specific alchemical process used in this case.
Then we are in an agreement. The evidence is conclusive on the charge of murder and unlawful disposal. The courts find the defendant. Yeah. Sorry, I need to back up. This is too quick. I can see why Jean is so hard, because in her mind, Albedo can be guilty and non-guilty at the same time. Yeah. This is not guilty without a doubt, though. But here's the thing. There is not enough evidence, okay? This is literally one part of evidence. They gave one part of evidence and nothing else, okay? Or, like, kind of like two pieces of evidence. But most of it was testimony. He is not guilty. No. This does not prove he is guilty or non-guilty. This should be something where it is undecided and we will do another trial or something, or on another day we will dismiss court or something. This, I'm so mad. Because this is not how it's supposed to go. No. It is undecided. Why did you decide so quickly? Albedo, did you do it? I'm watching some, James Bond here. Yeah. Oh my god. This is unrealistic. Okay, like, you don't need to come to a verdict today. There tends to be multiple days for trials. Like, especially for murder trials. So, like, why? And it usually is longer. People in attendance appear shocked. No one can believe a kind and well-mannered person like Albedo could have committed such a crime. Jean stipulates that those unsatisfied with the verdict will have time to submit an objection or appeal, but most appear hopeless in this moment. As you watch Albedo being taken back to the headquarters, you get a strange feeling that something hidden is about to come to light. It all comes back to the letter, a secret that you and Albedo know all too well, but the people of Matza have yet to discover. Exactly! Okay, that's why they were suspicious. Maybe we should look at it like a judge as well. Instead, we are in a fever of Albedo. What if he is a is a killer and he's just pretending. Like, I'm not looking this as a judge. Like, technically I am. I'm looking this as, like, technically a lawyer, but not really. I am looking this as the facts and evidence. Okay? And what I'm looking at is right now is there's not enough evidence. Like, sure, yeah, he might be possibly a killer. It is very possible in some cases, especially when he's already in court for it. But there's not evidence to prove that he has done both of those crimes. Even if they've said it was him, like, they have only a suspect. It is not confirmed he is guilty. It shouldn't be confirmed that he's guilty. Apparently he's guilty, but generally speaking, testimony is not enough. If there's no body, there's not really a case. We've only had like one piece of a few bodies, so he's not confirmed with the 2 murders because there's no one of the bodies. And we don't even know if those parts are also part of the body. We weren't really told if it was human remains or something like that. But let's think of that as a body. Even so, he would only be charged with 1 case of murder if he was proven to, but there was not really any substantial facts that he did murder because there is no, like, general, like, hardcore evidence. It's only a letter that he sent to his master. It does not mean he has done it unless he flat out says, yeah, I murdered 2 people. The letter is ambiguous. And especially if you're thinking about it right now in court, when you're looking at a person who has possibly murdered 2 people, you would think that letter is otherwise really bad. So you can't confirm it. That's what I'm getting at right now. Okay? We don't, and once again, Dahlia had a point. We don't know the victims. And the motive, it might be in the letter, sure, but it's not really in there. You talked about a bit of fun, I care about human life, right? Not really a cure about human life. No, I'm talking about him researching about the meaning of life. Or, like, about human life. At least the concept of life. Because, like, at the very beginning, like, he has always been here to research and, like, his own story quests and even event quests, that he is set on a mission to learn about generally what is the meaning of life, I guess, because of his master asking him to do so. And he has been working that with alchemy this entire time, of seeing if he can create life or recreate it using alchemy or some sort of alchemy. He hasn't really found, like, any cure about life or whatnot, but he has been doing research about life and death. But he hasn't, I don't believe he would actually go into that sort of area where he would kill somebody for it, because, like, come on, like, he's I'm pretty sure he's an ethical person. If he's talking about a concept about life, then what if he wanted to be, for bringing back the person and was testing his medicine on something sort of kind of things? I don't think he would do that, because first off, he's mainly been testing that on Durin, the dragon, who had died years ago. Okay? And also, he doesn't do it, like not really tested on, like, bringing him back to life, but has been, like, looking into it. Not in the way of actually bringing Durin back to life, but he's doing it in small ways, you know, like in birds and whatnot. I don't think he would do it with an entire human body. And plus, once again, I'm pretty sure Albedo's not dumb enough to hide bodies right in front of Monset's gate and in front of Dawn Winery. And he killed the man in the process. I don't think so. There's other ways to do it, and he's found other ways to do it. And it's not specifically about human life. Sure, it might say in a note about human life, but he has worked on, like, plants and whatnot. Because in technicality, plants are living organisms. If they die and wilt and whatnot, he could probably try to figure out how a way to sort of, like, bring it back or something like that. But most of the time, it tends to be some sort of, like, illusion, I'm thinking. I'm not fully sure on the facts, but yeah, I don't think he would actually kill somebody. Even if in the process. I don't think he would go that far. I don't think he will Frankenstein it. I really do think this is imposter Albedo's doing.
Why would Albedo do something like that? Oh, this has to be a nightmare.
Albedo told me his secret once, that he was a synthetic human created through alchemy. Could that have been something to do with this case? Exactly. Okay, yeah. He's a synthetic human being that was created by alchemy. And that is the reason why he's also like researching about life and it's probably in a way of trying to make himself more human. Is trying to figure out how life works, I guess. But yeah, I really. But what, following in Rain Daughter's footsteps just because he's an alchemical creation, that would only make him more suspicious. Well, this took a turn for the worse.
Rosaria! Oh, when did you get here?
I've been here the whole time. I happen to have a message to pass along for us. Yes, you're needed to Star Snatch Cliff. He's waiting for you there.
Who is he?
You'll know when you get there. Go on. Time is, like the wind. It waits for no one. Venti? Is it Venti? Is it Venti who we're going to see right now? Yeah. Okay, we can get to review this. And literally, Imposter Albedo! Right there! Right there! You and Paimon went to Dragonspine to ask about Albedo, who was conducting research there. Some questions about alchemy only encounter a series of strange events, strange soft noises echoing through the mountains that could not be traced. The ransacked and theft of alchemy notes at the campsite, Albedo disappearing after a chat outside a cave but having no memory of the incident. At the same time, Eula encountered Albedo elsewhere on the mountain and attempted to lead a child away, and he attacked Eula upon being discovered. You were able to confirm the presence of a mysterious figure impersonating Albedo. A running battle ensued, and being hunted. In the end, Albedo eliminated the giant mutant Whopperflower posing as him, yet there were more than 2 people wearing that face on the mountain. Imposter Albedo. It is Imposter Albedo. Woo! Albedo is no dumb enough to put a body on Montesquieu, but what if that's the story wants us to think? I still don't believe it's Albedo. I really believe it's Imposter Albedo. First off, real Albedo wouldn't do that shit, okay? And I also know he would hide a body properly. It's Imposter Albedo because honestly, I think Imposter Albedo is probably a little bit more dumb. Okay? It's Imposter Albedo. It's Imposter Albedo. 100%. Ugh. Like, I have a radar here, hold up. Where's Albedo? Oh god, I've been talking so much about this case, my throat hurts. Ugh.
What of you? How about the truth of this world?
Right, okay, never mind. It's not not about life's purpose or something like that. It's the truth of this world. That's what he was set out to do. The truth of this world. My bad. That's my fault. I don't think it would involve something like that. Okay?
You want to accompany me while I experiment? I'm honored. Oh, don't be nervous. My experiments may be dangerous, but no one gets hurt. Most of the time.
That's another thing. He doesn't want people to get hurt most of the time. I don't think he would go outright kill somebody. I'm just giving away options, but yeah, I hope it is Albedo Imposter. I get that. I full on don't believe it would be Albedo, though. No way. Sure, he had brutally killed that Whopperflower, like, holy shit. But it's Imposter Albedo. 100%.
There's just never enough time, is there? Besides research, the activity I spend most of... Negrito is the first step, at Citrinitus is the final stage of the alchemical...
Yeah, like... And I'm pretty sure he would figure out about life or death, especially death, about, like, decomposition and whatnot, like, by just, like, examining a bird, okay? Like, there's nothing different. Every body that is, like, mainly, like, is, like...
I like the rain.
Do you like thunder? Or it can be the main villain of the story as well. Yeah, like, it could possibly be Albedo. Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it one bit. Not a single bit. But honestly, I would be surprised if it was actually Albedo. But considering how fast that went, and it's like, oh yeah, he's guilty, I don't believe it. And especially with that explanation about, like, the imposter and whatnot, I think it's imposter Albedo, because it's basically just telling you, yeah, it wasn't Albedo, it was imposter Albedo. And plus, he never killed the other imposter Albedo. We were never told, like, seen that. So, I definitely... It's definitely imposter Albedo. I swear to God, if we see Venti up here, I bet it's Venti. I don't want to do this while raining. Can it stop raining? When did their ground look so wet like that? Maybe it can be Diluc or anyone. I don't think it's Diluc. Diluc's too big on justice, especially against the Fatui. I don't think he would risk that. He's literally Batman. It's like, I am justice! I am Batman! And all that shit. Like, literally, I don't think it would be Diluc either. There's no motive. That's the thing. I can't see it because I don't see any motive between any of the characters. Especially the main characters. I see a motive with Imposter Albedo, though. Because he is actively being an imposter to Albedo. And has already tried to, like, sort of, like... One of the things, I think, mainly on that one event was him trying to come into life. You know? Like, come into, like, steal, like, someone's, like, general life. Not, like, killing or anything. It was just, like, their lifestyle and whatnot. Like, replace them. That's what I'm getting at. They tend to try to replace that life, you know? To survive, basically. Is it because I have the game on low or medium? It's probably because you have it on low or medium, because I have it on, I think, high. Yeah, I have it all on high. So yeah, that's probably why. It's Venti. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it was Venti. He knows. He knows. I fucking knew it was Venti. We're gonna take a little break right now because I gotta take care of my cat. I know I need to clean up her litter box, and I rather do that now before I continue on when it's like whatnot, and then I get. Venti is at least voiced here. Oh my god, yes! I'm so happy if he's voiced right now because I know Erica's back. So she probably did like voice his lines, especially when like she only had to voice so many lines in the event. I think she would be able to voice these lines at least.
Ah, traveler.
Yes!
I could hear your arrival upon the wind. Were you looking for me?
This was what I have been waiting for before the start of the quest. I wanted Venti's VA to be back. I could not handle not having Venti's voice not be voiced. I love Venti too much. He was literally one of the first, like, 5 stars that I had, and he was part of my team at the very beginning. I need my boy voiced.
Venti, did you send us that message?
No, I did.
Oh, hi, man!
Whoa, where did you come from? Wait, Venti, do you know this guy? His name is,
Didn't think I was that unmemorable. I'm Dahlia, Deacon of the Church of Favonius, and Herald of the Animal Archon Barbados. Not gonna forget next time, right? That's right. I noticed you during the trial. The legendary honorary knight. You seem to have a lot of thoughts on your mind, so I thought we should have a chat.
I GPUs with 8 gigabytes of games, yeah. But ray tracing sucks, so there's barely any point of it. Yeah, I don't really care. I just went with the base stats that it was given to me, so. I mainly go for used to it.
After all, I am the Herald of Barbados. If the people of Mondstadt are in danger, I should keep the Animal Archon in the loop.
He knows. He knows. He has to know. The way he looked at Venti when he said Herald of Barbados, He has to know Venti is Barbados.
Wait then. You know about.
About what? The fact that my tavern hopping nomad of a friend is Barbados himself?
He knows! That's why he's shipped a lot with Venti, or as, like, they're seen as big friends. That's why, because he knows! Oh, that's sweet! Oh my god, okay, well, it kinda, oh, at least we don't have to keep secrets. Oh. I love how they're both, like, literally, like, somewhat have, like, similar personalities. Like, I don't know much about Dahlia, but from what I've heard with, like, surprise baptism and whatnot and how silly he is, it literally just reminded me of Venti. It's like, okay, I see why. They're besties. They're besties, guys.
Don't worry. Dahlia and I are close. He knows everything.
Oh my god. How did you two get close, though? How?
Besides, a god needs someone to communicate their will in a formal setting, and no one does that better than Dahlia.
Not that I saw that coming when we first met. But back to the matter at hand. I believe you two already know about Albedo's background.
So, you know too, Venti? That's surprisingly. Well, I knew from the moment Daughter and Alice brought Albedo to Mondstadt. When those two are in town, no one can afford to slack off. The Kryda Prince, a perfect specimen of synthetic life. At this stage of the case, there are countless questions surrounding Albedo's motive. His true identity is a potential weakness.
A synthetic being loses control of their sanity and goes on a killing spree. That's how a novel would frame the story, and people are inclined to agree.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's why they probably didn't share it. That's fair. Because it would have just taken everything out the loop, and then that's just a whole new investigation into Albedo's backstory and whatnot, and questioning his motives more. So yeah, I totally get why keep it that quiet. Like, technically, in America, Fifth Amendment right, you don't need to speak unless there's a lawyer present or something like that. Your lawyer is present or something like that. Like, fair enough.
Albedo has told us before that humans often value the ordinary over the transcendent and miraculous.
And the slightest difference is perceived as other. A very common phenomenon.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was talking about, is that, like, a lot of people tend to perceive things as different depending on the context. And even if there was added more context, there is still a possibility of misunderstanding it and completely taking it the wrong way. So, yeah.
Which means we need to find a way to help your friend. Me? Well, I know that Albedo is a synthetic being, and that a lot of strange things have been happening in Mondstadt, even though Windbloom should be about drinking and having fun.
Aw.
We noticed that too! The minute we got here, something was off.
I've picked up on most of those too. Miles is out of sorts. Beatrice seems anxious. Although I didn't know Donna stopped being interested in Master Diluc.
When no love remains for the songs to tell, the world becomes naught but an empty shell. Cruel is said fate, cruel it may be, were it not for a hero who could set us all free.
Oh my god, he's actually singing. It's usually like spoken out word, you know, poems. But he actually... Erica, you did it, girl. You gave our Venti boy a voice. I love that he actually sings in this part, because, like, it always felt so wrong he just, like, spoke simply for some of, like, his poems. Like, it should be, like, in a singing voice, you know?
What are you getting at, Tone Deaf Bard? Oh, just making a comment. There are always unavoidable trials in life. At least, that's what Barbados would say. A certain someone is going to need to overcome a trial like that. In such cases, even the Seven know better than to tamper with fate. If only there was a brave soul willing to aid their friend in his time of need. Should he meet a terrible fate, all of If you wanted our help, you could have just asked, you know.
Well, even if Albedo wasn't at the center of this case, protecting Mondstadt is part of being an honorary knight, right?
Hold up. I know from He doesn't sacrifice himself, right? I know I've been always scared of the theory of if we came back to Mondstadt, Venti would sacrifice his life for the people, and we had to choose to save Venti or Mondstadt. That's a fear of mine. I hope that the devs did not think of that, and it's only just Genshin Impact's community's imagination. Let's.
You'll still have help, of course, which is why I prepared a little surprise. Behold!
Ooh, Paimon remembers that Jumpy Dumpty.
Don't worry, I removed the fuse, so it's not going to explode. Say hello to the Dodo communication device.
So, this thing belongs to you now?
We're old pals. Don't think she'd care if I borrowed it for a few days. Anyway, this invention, with a little help from a trick of mine, will allow us to keep in touch. Just take it out and we can chat. That's all I ask. No matter what comes, you have the wind on your side.
Okay, they're still here.
I suppose we're old pals too at this point.
Indeed. Your companionship is like a breeze that lingers in the air, warm and familiar.
In all this time, I've never witnessed Lord Barbados approach anything in a serious manner. Perhaps this time, I'm in for something special.
Get your popcorn, Dahlia.
Barbados? Serious? Oh, you give him too much credit.
Hardly. It's not blind faith, you know. I've always had unwavering belief in the Animal Archon.
Is that so? Oh, I wonder what Barbados thinks.
Good idea. I'll tell him I still haven't deciphered his drunken musings from our 3 trips to the tavern last month. His wisdom is sure to reveal itself in time.
Oh, you know what? Forget about Barbados, Dahlia. Treat me to a drink instead. You wouldn't refuse
Oh my
me,
god.
would you?
Imagine if you have to choose one Archon to die for the whole that, and if you do, the game just ends with brother waking up at the beach again. And oh, if I had one Archon to die, we haven't met to the Teresa yet, so like I wouldn't kill her yet until I figure it out. I would say Zhongli. I just never liked John Lee. Like, sure, he's like a silly old man sometimes, and like it's silly that he made more but doesn't know the concept of money and all of that. But generally speaking, he has been mainly the least helpful most of the time. Like, sure, he's helped Xiao and whatnot, but if I had to sacrifice anything, we'll go for the oldest Archon. Zhongli was already ready to die, apparently. Like, he's already claimed to be dead, so I don't think anyone would miss him as an Archon. I'm sorry, but I would say Zhongli. An old fellow, old. Yeah, exactly. He's old. He can go and kick the bucket now. I feel bad because I absolutely love Xiao as a character, and it would be sad if Zhongli like was never there for him, especially saving him in that one cavern quest. Like, I do like Zhongli for that, but generally speaking, Zhongli's barely done anything for like since we've been here in Tibet. Thank you for the door knock. Yeah. Okay. I can't hear the sound thing, so I'm guessing sound alerts are once again bugged again. Great. But yeah, like generally speaking, Zhongli, like during the entire Archon quest, the main point was him standing aside and doing nothing for his people unless he felt like he needed to. But after that, he was done, and he was just not doing anything other than that, but just spending his old age looking at antiques and whatnot. So I think he could die. He could die for that. Plus, if we sign a contract with him, he'll probably do it. I don't want Venti to die. I don't want Nikita to die. I like Raida Shogun. I don't want her to die. I don't want Farina to die. Technically, Farina, Godside, did die, though. Technically. But the Farina now, no. I wouldn't let her die. I love Malvika. She's not dying on us. She already tried to. Not happening. Um, I wouldn't say Hyuta would break down though. Hello, Hugan. Hold up, what was that 100 for? Are those bits? Uni 100? What are those? I've never seen those. Huh. Uh, but generally speaking, I don't think Hyuto would exactly cry for Zhongli. Because one, since like they're 100, it's 100 bits. Oh, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you. I didn't know. I've never seen them like that. I have never seen them as a unicorn heart. Once again, I cannot. Thank you for the Darnock, but I can't hear them right now. Sound alerts are not working. I'm sorry. Hold up. And now that I know. Anyway. Anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't think Hyuto would cry for Zhongli exactly because first one, Zhongli is an employee to Hyuto, and second, Hyuto is very used to death because she literally works at a funeral parlor, and she's already like said goodbye to like literally her grandpa, which she absolutely loved. So I think generally she would feel sad, but I wouldn't think she would cry about it. I think, yeah. Like, I think she will still grieve and whatnot, but I think she would be more in a happy grieve, you know? Like, it kind of feels like she would be like, I miss you, but I still remember all the memories we've had, and that's what keeps me going and whatnot, and that makes me happy that I was able to be part of your life, and you be a part of mine. So. If Farina dies, it would hurt Neuvillette so much. That would hurt Neuvillette, that's for sure. He doesn't want Farina to die again. Not after seeing the god part die, nope. He already cried the first part, but if he would definitely cry if Farina died. Yeah, that's for sure. He wouldn't cry, but he would cry and the freaking storm will happen.
A dear friend like you? Never.
It's nice knowing that Deji has a friend that actually knows his identity other than like Jean and Diluc. And they're not really friends. Like, Jean sees, like, Jean as, like, Jean sees Venti as, like, a general god, while Diluc is like, oh my god, a god and a drunken one at that. Well, Delilah and Ventura, like, seem to actually be friends, you know? Drink buddies and whatnot. I love that. Okay. Nahida will just suck no matter what. Yeah, Nahida doesn't deserve to die. She's only 500 years old. Currently. What if this court case goes to Newland? It was so funny that it kind of... I kind of got, like, I kind of got misled by the Genshin community saying, oh, Albedo stabbed Neuvillette. But it turns out it was just part of an event about Neuvillette being stabbed, per se. But it was actually just a fake article that was just doing it for, like, views. And it wasn't actually Neuvillette getting stabbed. He was just not in court to help with, like, someone who was, like a stabber and whatnot. I don't know the full details. But, yeah, it was funny. And outrageous. And it kind of got twisted to Albedo's thing because they were happy that they were at the same time. And it just... It's so funny. Yeah, Nahi is the same age as Farina. Yeah, it would be too soon if they died. It would be so sad. I feel like it would curse Farina to live longer with him. I wouldn't say that. I think Neuvillette wouldn't. That feels a little bit too out of character for Neuvillette. I think he's old enough to realize life and death, so I wouldn't say he would curse. And I don't think there's even an ability to do that. And technically, Farina's already sort of cursed with immortality, so I think that would still... Like, I don't think it would do that. I feel like that's too out of character for Neuvillette. But you could have your own headcanons. I'm not one to judge. I have my own headcanons and whatnot. So fair enough. Like, it's hard for me to ignore that Xiao's letters to the Traveler are not love letters, okay? Because, to be honest, they're sappy as fuck. Oh no, I'm out of Kleenex. No! Okay, because, like, generally, Xiao's letters are just, like... Hold up, let me bring out, like... Xiao. I love the ... for El Hatham. Love that. I don't think I got Xiao's recent one. I don't know, I don't remember. I've been missing a lot of birthdays, which is sad because I love just like collecting all of these. Yeah, oh, there's Venti again. Yeah, I miss Xiao's last one. In my dreams, I've never liked dreaming. No matter what I see, I can neither control it nor easily escape. But recently, it's you that I keep seeing. Yeah, that letter. How am I not supposed to figure out that Xiao likes Traveler a lot? Okay. Hi. Want me to mute? Okay. But yeah, like, that's my headcanon, but just wait. Oh, we're going back into the into the trial. Oh, okay, both are 500 years old. Malvika already denied death for herself. What if she could do it again? Yeah. But honestly, I think Malvika would be the most willing to die for Tibet. Because she already did that for her country and whatnot, and it's all about war, and she's, like, experienced death. And technically, she might have some to lose, but not all of it to lose, you know? That's what I'm thinking. I know you all must be shocked, but the evidence is solid. Alberta's situation is not looking... It is not solid. It is not solid. I disagree, Jean. It's not solid. It is, in fact, not solid, Jean. Why do me like this? Rina, Nahida, Raiden, and Malvika will destroy the nation if they died. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Raiden would be willing to die for her nation either. Like, to think of the most possibility of characters who would die for their nation, Raiden wouldn't. Malvika would. Zhongli, possibly. Venti, maybe? Venti's old, so I wouldn't be surprised if Venti did be willing. Farina, no. Nahida, it depends. Honestly, not really. I'm leaning to not really. And yeah. Teresa, I don't know because we have not met the Teresa. We'll figure that out once Shania comes out. Or if Teresa comes in early. I don't know.
I still don't believe Albedo would do something like that. Using living people as alchemical test subjects? It's like something out of a novel.
Of course it's all about novels. Novels. Still not foolproof. Why is this? This is getting me more pissed than anything. Farina is an idol of Fontaine. He is the only best archive for Sumer now, and Raiden A been the leader of Innocence forever now. Yeah, like, I wouldn't say Nahida is like the best for Sumeru. Like, I love her either way. Like, she's definitely a good Archon. I would say that. Especially, but I would say, even as the God of Wisdom, she's a little bit naive. I think that's because they made Nahida literally look like a child. That doesn't help anything. But generally speaking, she's a little bit naive. And that's probably because she has been locked away for, like, hundreds of years when she was, like, sort of reincarnated. So, I would give her that. But at least she has Irminsul now, so now she can get all the wisdom she wants. So yeah, she is a good Archon. I would say that, yeah, yeah. I view Nahida as also like a little child because she literally looks like one and sometimes acts like one. Gotta say that out loud. There's literally no replacement for all three nations right now.
Perhaps it's best for me to remain impartial, but I've worked with Albedo
For
before.
you're speaking about like
He's an alchemist,
Fontaine,
not a
Subaru, and Inazuma. Well, here's the thing. If we're going like specifically off nations, I would honestly think that Alhaitham would be good for Sumeru. Because first off, he's already became like the a sage or something like that, and he's pretty damn smart, and he helped us a lot through the Sumeru quest. Like, bro literally acted insane to help us. For Fontaine, Uvulette, obviously. Since we already have Uvulette. Other than that, Risley might be a good candidate. I don't know, maybe a little bit Risley. Another thing that I could think of is possibly like Chlorand. Or even Navia. Navia would be actually a really good one for Fontaine, I think. She's big on justice. Okay, like I'm thinking of like generally in their general areas of like wisdom and so on. Wisdom, Alhaitham is very damn smart. There's also Tainari. Tainari is also really smart. Then, yeah, in Fontaine we have Neuvillette, but I can also see Navia because she's big on justice. We've seen her in court multiple times, and she literally helped us in the court case. And then finally, Inazuma, Pujasara is a possible candidate, I would say. I know a lot of people have been saying, like, Shinobu, but I wouldn't say Shinobu would be, like, capable of running an entire country. I wouldn't say that. Like, she would definitely be probably, like, a good lawyer. But I wouldn't say she would run a whole country. Even though she's running a whole, like, gang and whatnot, I wouldn't think she would work well with a whole country. Is a Hydro Dragon, so he can't be Hydro Archon. But he technically is now the Hydro Archon now. No, even as a Hydro Dragon, he can become Archon. That it's not really how it works. It's like, oh, if you're a Hydro Dragon, you can't be Archon. No, it's depending on who has, like, it can be passed down, and it was passed down to Neuvillette. And most of the things, it tends to be the dragons, the dragons in each land do want to become Archon. Only a few have been able to. For example, Morax, he's a dragon. He was the, like, Geo Dragon. And then kind of had, like, his own. Technically, dragons and Archons are just different types of beings. They are, but Archons are not a, like, one being only. It could be given. It can't be, like, it doesn't have to be from birth. It can be given. Sort of way. That's what I think. I'm pretty sure there's something like that. It can be given. It kind of, like, because thinking about it, it's like, you know, Raiden Shogun and her sister, like, they were in between, but, like, generally they kind of shared Archon powers, and then one was, like, fully transferred to one. And then the Farina god, Farina's like, counterpart, literally gave like, away, like, her right as an Archon to Neuvillette at the end. So that's what I'm getting at. The Archons are kind of like, it's kind of like a thing that is given to someone. Because first off, like, remember, Venti only started out as, like, a little wind spirit. And then he was able to get, like, a position of Archon. He didn't start out as an Archon. Let's remember that. Okay? This is why I'm thinking of this, because like Archon is more of a position that is granted and it gives them more power, and usually that power comes from a gnosis. My bad. And when it comes to a Hydro Dragon, they're generally born as a Hydro Dragon. And it doesn't mean a Hydro, like any dragon of sorts can't become Archon. They can. Because if we remember, Boris, the wolf in Mondstadt, did want to become Archon, but gave it to, but Venti was chosen. A bit of his power to Frina, making her technically a Hydro Archon. No, I don't think he did. No, it was Farina's, in technicality, the Farina that we know now that we have, than the one that had passed away, was given the powers from the previous Archon, mainly to live, forever, but she's technically not the Archon. But when the Archon sort of counterpart died, she gave all power to Novelette, and Novelette, I don't think Novelette did give anything, because Farina wanted to be free. Farina didn't want to stay as an Archon. She wanted to become an idol, and so all the power goes to Novelette. I don't think Novelette would give Farina the powers unless she wanted to, and so, yeah, I don't know. I think that's not correct. Novelette is my favorite so far. Yeah, Novelette is great. He's so silly. The visions are not given by any Archon. Let's be clear. Visions are granted, I think, from Celestia in some way. It's not in control of any Archon. Archons don't just give out visions. It's generally, I believe it's the heavenly principles in some sort of way. Or Celestia. Something like that gives out visions. Not Archons themselves or Hydro Dragons themselves. Or dragons, my bad. Dragons themselves. I have not read... Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I have not seen Novelette's story, but from the information I know of, I don't think it's a possibility to be given a vision unless it was given divinely. They're never given by Archons or other people. It's just happens. Sort of way. Because that's we learned about this information sort of in Azuma, and also I believe in Mondstadt a little bit. I think Venti also mentions this in some way. I could be wrong about Venti mentioning this, but I'm pretty sure we learned a little bit this about Inazuma. He talked about giving out vision, but didn't know who was asking for one. I don't know what to say about that. That completely contradicts some things that I've heard from Genshin Impact. So I'll have to see it. I have not seen that quest yet. I heard it's good, but the vision thing is confusing because Genshin it tends to not be strong on the point of how they're given. You know? From what I've heard, they're not given by anyone, only by no one of lower authority other than probably the heavenly principles. So I don't know what's going on with that, but that's what I know. So I'm sticking for what I know. I'll believe it once I've watched the story quest, but that's what I know. I don't have Novelette, and I have not read his story. I don't have Novelette, and I have not done his story yet. Is as hard for me to accept as anyone, but Varka once said Alberta is very different. Perhaps there are things we don't need to. Let's see what Alberto has to say for himself first. Would you mind giving me everyone a private matter requires my attention? Not in his story quest, but on his story thing. I don't have Novelette! Oh my god. Fine, I'll look it up. Okay, so Nuvolek did a specific thing. After regaining his full Hydro authority, he set aside a portion of his power to serve as a source for Hydro visions, directly granting them to worthy humans, such as he did for Farina. Okay. Unlike the Archons, who are bound to Celestia's system for granting visions, Nuvolek has the freedom to choose whom to bestow a vision upon. That's what I'm getting at. Hello, Leon. We're I guess I'm doing okay. We're having an argument right now. Not really an argument, but no. Okay. So, Nuvolek is different because he has the freedom. He's away from the Celestia system. So that's what I was getting at, because there has been a whole thing about visions not being granted exactly by Archons. At least not freely. So, Nuvolek is different because he wasn't originally part of, like he didn't obey Celestia. And also, like, as a Hydra, like, and the power was given to him by another Archon, so technically he's not connected to Celestia. So, that's why I was so confused. He is technically gambling again, and how dare you? Did you June bug Thursday? I'm not gambling right now. I'm saving up for Flynn's. Okay, Jesus. He knows he was giving one to Frina. Yeah, it seems he does know he was giving one to Frina, but I guess only after he had the Hydro powers, because he probably he probably Farina lost her like Hydro Archon abilities after the Hydro Archon self got executed. So yeah, I guess he did give Farina a vision. Okay, so that makes sense now, because I definitely remember Archons weren't allowed to give out visions at least freely. So now knowing this, okay, Nuvolek is an exception. That doesn't mean I'm wrong, but it doesn't mean you're wrong either. So, I just woke up from a nap and watching a Japanese TV show that's simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. Nice!
Hey, Jean!
Traveler Paimon, perfect timing. Kaya has a favor to ask. Like Jude said, after the verdict, we have time to submit an appeal, and I will do my utmost to convince Albedo to accept. He's been acting strange, and I can't read him for the life of me, but I need you to start investigating the case. Yes, it's also time for you to get involved. Do you want me to join the investigation? Are you sure we're just... Now I would like you to launch an investigation of your own. I'll continue working on his defense. In the meantime, if you find anything that might help his case, just let me know. I know it's against the spirit of the season to task you with this, but Albedo is a trusted member of our ranks. We owe him the benefit of the doubt. Understood. Marina's vision is right now the strongest vision out there, because haven't give out any visions to anyone else. The strongest? Are we sure Farina's the strongest vision? I don't think... Well, I guess if Celestia was so adamant of, like, keeping a wraps on visions, I guess he would probably have a vision to, like power to give out better visions, but... Hold up. While the Archon's vision distribution is automatic and beyond their control, Nuvolek has the authority to select worthy individuals, as demonstrated by his granting of the vision to Farina. Okay. Farina's vision is not inherently stronger than other visions in terms of raw power, but in a unique due to its origins as a reward for her immense sacrifice. It is designed reflecting both Penema and Osea, and its source to be being Nuvolek, the Hydro Dragon Sovereign. rather than Celestia. This difference in origin and design grants her the ability to use both Panama and Osea and signifies a shift in power source for Hydrovision holders. Okay, so she's not entirely like stronger, but she has more abilities than being limited. Any Hydra Vision before Fontaine Quest is probably still linked into heavens. Probably. Yeah. Basically, we don't know what happened to the OG Hydra Vision. Yeah. Anyway, I go lurk and try not to go crazy at the fact Sarah had to go and put June back in my life. So it's like a fusion of night. Okay, hold up. Everyone's talking. Jesus Christ. Okay, hold up. It is a weird ass show. It's like a fusion of Nightmare of Elm Street, Poltergeist, and a Power Rangers. It's weird and very fun. Oh! We don't know what happened to the OG Hydra Vision when the Hydra Archon places. What do you mean? I think Farina technically probably had like a fake vision on, you know? Because she was technically also part of Archon. I don't know. Like, or maybe it was an old one. I don't fucking know. Okay. I don't. Let's leave it at that. I think we're talking too much about visions. We need to actually get on to this fucking quest because I need to finish it in 2 days so I can continue on to not cry. Yeah, Farina never had a vision. Yeah. She was Archon at the time.
What if the accusations turn out to be true?
Then you'll have the months at a great service all the same. An inspection, a retrial. Until then, you're welcome to have to look around Albedo's office on the 2nd floor. I'm counting on you. We actually get to look at Albedo's office? We're actually going up to the 2nd floor? Are we allowed to go on the... We're allowed to go on the 2nd floor. Bro, this has been blocked off for so long, and now we're suddenly able to go up to the 2nd floor? Was a blue gym, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna take a break. I'll be right back. I won't put on ads. It might be a bit, but I need to take care of my cat since it's late. So I'll be right back. Okay. I am in fact back. How is everybody? Okay, my throat hurts so bad from talking so much. Anyway, time to look at Albedo's shit.
Wait, Captain Kaya! Surely I can't just.
I need to store her here on Jean's order. She asked them to investigate Albedo's.
Oh, in that case, head on in.
I guess Albedo's not allowed because he is working on with the defendant.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Albedo's office. Pretty much exactly how Paimon pictured it.
Alright, I have some work of my own, so I'll leave you to it. Good luck, you two.
Right back at ya.
Yes, I will hydrate. Also, sound alerts are not working. Sorry, but I will hydrate. I will proceed to do a sound hydrate, you bastard, hydrate! For myself, because I know you guys probably can hear it, but I can't, so. You'll be able to do this. Oh. We will finish this quest tonight. We can at least finish this. The other Archon quest, we can do that tomorrow. Yeah, now my throat is so fucking dry. But oh my god. Are we able to explore this top? Hold up. Okay, we can't go in there. Can we go up more? No. Fair enough. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. This is the... I guess this is what we get.
Alright, let's see what we can find.
Well, clearly a book. The stack of books on the desk, mostly related to alchemy, environmental science, and life science. Some of the pages have been marked with alchemical symbols, and others have S-shaped or triangle symbols drawn on them. Any potential meaning is unclear.
Wow, these books are so fancy. Albedo must have gone to great lengths to get them.
After moving the book, the desk looks also empty. Your hand slipped while moving the book, causing the hardcover book to strike the desk. The resulting noise is a bit unusual. Double, but the experience adventure, it sounds too hollow, almost like there's a compartment within the desk.
Wait, it looks like there's a hidden compartment under the desk.
There does appear to be a compartment added to one side of the desk. It was very well hidden. Mechanism is complex. It seems to involve elemental power in some way. Perhaps you could try using the power of Geo. Then the compartment opens. Inside lies a piece of paper with more information. Festering is also a manifestation of rot. Are we talking about a rotting corpse, Albedo? Are we talking about a rotting corpse, Albedo? When festering forces and a significant amount of energy collide, the two will repel each other, bringing a powerful side effect. When I tested this in the alchemy experiment, the result of refinement were startling. Breaking through the shackles of life, the simulation of the blank project, I must take advantage of this opportunity.
The name of the project is blotted out in ink. What could it be?
Note mentioned festering forces, which suggests that Dragonspine could be involved somehow. If this has something to do with creating synthetic life, would Albedo go that far for one of his experiments? No, that can't be. And notes is a map with a few markings on it. 2 of the marked locations correspond to the crime scenes, and the third appears to be in Dragonspine. Yeah, Dawn Winery. Why would you do it that fucking close to Mondstadt and Dawn Winery, Albedo? And then there. It's a hard pill to swallow, but if the results of the joint investigation are correct, there would be a body hidden in the last location, or at the very least, what remains of it.
What does this mean? Oh, do you think something might also be buried at the last? Alright, that seems to be it for this place. We should go tell Jean what we found.
No, we should go look.
Oh, Vent is calling. How's the investigation investigation going?
Oh, we found stuff alright. Stuff that only...
I see. So, Albedo's researching something that doesn't help his case, huh?
Clearly. Sure what you learned with Fenty.
Not promising. We should be grateful Albedo's true identity remains hidden. If it gets out that he's one of Rhindaughter's creation, as we both know, Rhindaughter's approach to alchemy and ethics was pure madness, and the evidence you just found, let's just say it could convince even those closest to him of his guilt. Perhaps even you. Then it comes down to trust. Do you trust Albedo?
Yeah, he's our friend. We should keep the And if he really is the culprit, maybe he's just not allowed to talk.
It is Imposter Albedo. It is Imposter Albedo.
Either way, a fair investigation means coming to a conclusion. Remaining objective has its own value. Remember, none of this is your fault. Just report back with an...
Yeah? Well, let's go find Jean and tell her what we learned. Wait, that's... Miles.
Oh, sorry. I heard
It's okay. We're here...
Ah, I see.
Hold on. You didn't hear what...
Oh, not real.
Well, do us a favor and just forget it.
Oh, sure. You got it.
That map we found in the hidden compartment seems important. We should check out the marked locations.
Oh, finally, yes. Go to the marked location. That's what I was thinking. Don't talk to Jean first. Go to the marked location. Like, come on. Like... Oh, this is near Albedo's lab. It's really fucking close. Albedo, what were you thinking? At least do the other side of the mountain, my god. Or, I mean, Imposter Albedo. At this point, Albedo, you... I don't believe you're... guilty at all, I don't think. Oh.
We should be getting close. Oh, look over there! Something seems off.
That is not, like... That would not fit a body. Unless it was dismembered. It should be more... I'm sorry, but this is not how you hide a body, Albedo. A lot of is covered in snow. As the seats vegetative, you notice a spot on the ground that looks quite different from its surrounding. Remove the snow and find a sizable hole underneath, large enough to fit a human body. Is it really? It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that. From the surface... Okay, fine, I'll believe you. But the hole is completely empty and the surrounding markings make it look like something was dug up. Did an animal do this or some monster?
Weird. The prosecution's argument is that Albedo used alchemy to destroy the bodies. But this location is different from the other two. Why not fill the hole? Or smooth out the ground like the other places?
If one person did all this, why not remove the traces like the others? And if Albedo isn't the one responsible, why was the location his notes? True enough. You return the night's photos, doubts swirling in your mind. Ugh. You're back. Did you find anything?
Yeah, but none of it helps Albedo's...
You told Jean about your findings from Albedo's office. I see. A complicated result, but your efforts are appreciated. It's made yes, he asked for a retrial. There are still questions surrounding the identities of the victim and the disappearance of bodies. Minimum remains that we uncover have been sent for forensic analysis, which would provide us some answers. It's just...
What's wrong?
If the victims turn out to be Mondstadt citizens, the situation becomes all the more serious. The second trial would likely have to be open to the public. And the doubt public sentiment will be in Albeto's favor.
Yeah, not when the charges are so serious.
The second trial is set to take place in 2 days. I hope you consider attending this one as well.
Of course, we'll be there. In the meantime, we should all just...
Well said. When the time comes, I'll carry out my duty to the best of my ability. Are we gonna do some extra investigating? Please tell us we're gonna do some extra investigating. Miles. What is... Why is Miles so... Why is he so weird? Okay, we're not gonna... I don't think I will be doing a late night stream. Shit. I think this is where we're gonna leave it off. I know I said I wanted to finish this main quest, but of course I spent too much time over analyzing every little fucking thing that I made it longer than it needs to be. So we'll be continuing this tomorrow. And I guess we're just probably gonna... Well, if I can do tomorrow. Yeah. Good night, yeah. I might do this tomorrow, or... God. Actually, wait. I have to play... I'm watching a movie with my brother. Hopefully it doesn't take that long that I'm still able to stream, but... If I'm not able to... Monday. Monday, I will continue. I swear it. I will continue this quest if I can. I know maintenance is probably happening on Monday, so we'll see. But we're also going to be looking at Not Cry and whatnot, so I will be doing that either way. So, yeah. I will see you next time. Thanks for everyone who did join. I hope you enjoyed my dumbass overanalyzing every single thing about a court case that doesn't even exist in real life, and it's just a fictional one. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.